Heidi Klum and Seal once looked like the couple Hollywood could not break. They renewed their vows every year, raised 4 children, appeared inseparable in public, and spoke about each other with devotion. Yet, in January 2012, after nearly 7 years of marriage, they announced that they were separating. The news stunned fans because their relationship had long been presented as one of the strongest love stories in entertainment. What appeared to be a perfect marriage had reached an ending neither of them had expected. Their story began long before they met. Heidi Klum was born on June 1, 1973 in Bergisch Gladbach, Germany. In 1992, she won a modeling competition that opened the door to an international career. By the end of the 1990s, she had become famous through Victoria's Secret major fashion campaigns and magazine covers. Her professional life looked glamorous, but her private life was less settled. In 1997, Heidi married celebrity hairstylist Rick Pipino. The marriage ended in divorce in 2002. She later began a relationship with Italian businessman Flavio Briatore. In 2004, they announced that Heidi was expecting a child, but the relationship ended before their daughter was born. Heidi faced the difficult reality of entering motherhood without the father of her baby beside her. Seal had lived through a different journey. He was born on February 19, 1963 in London, England, to Nigerian parents. His childhood was difficult, and he also faced discoid lupus erythematosus, a condition that left visible scars on his face. Instead of allowing those experiences to defeat him, Seal built a musical identity around his powerful voice and emotional honesty. His breakthrough came in the early 1990s with Killer and Crazy. Then in 1994, Kiss from a Rose transformed him into an international star. By the early 2000s, both Heidi and Seal had achieved global success, but both were still searching for a relationship that felt real, beyond fame. They met in early 2004 at a luxury hotel in New York City. Heidi later remembered seeing Seal as he came out of the gym wearing tight workout shorts. She was immediately attracted to him. It was not only his appearance. She also noticed his confidence, warmth, and kindness. Seal felt a strong connection as well, and the two began dating soon afterward. The timing made their relationship unusual from the beginning. Heidi was pregnant with Leni, the daughter she was expecting with Flavio Briatore. Seal did not keep his distance. He stayed close to Heidi through the pregnancy and stepped into the role of father from the earliest stage of Leni's life. That decision became one of the most important parts of their family story. Their romance developed quickly. They were affectionate in public, comfortable on red carpets, and clearly drawn to each other. After only several months of dating, Seal decided to propose in a way Heidi would never forget. In December 2004, he took her to a remote glacier in Canada. There, he had arranged for a custom-built igloo to be prepared. Inside were rose petals, candles, and a private setting far from cameras and crowds. Seal asked Heidi to marry him, and she accepted. Heidi later described the proposal as one of the most beautiful and magical moments of her life. On May 10, 2005, Heidi and Seal married in an intimate beach ceremony in Costa Corrales, Mexico. Close family members and friends attended. Heidi wore a Vera Wang gown, while Seal wore a white suit that matched the tropical setting. They exchanged personal vows with the ocean behind them. At that moment, the couple seemed to have created the beginning of the life they both wanted. Only a few months later, their first biological child together was born, Henry Gunther. Adeola Dashtu Samuel arrived on September 12, 2005 in Los Angeles. He became the first son in the family and was later described as energetic, adventurous, and protective of his siblings. Heidi often said that Henry loved movement exploration and sports, especially soccer. Their second son, Johan Riley Fyodor Taiwo Samuel, was born on November 22, 2006 in Los Angeles. Johan was quieter and more artistic. From an early age, he showed an interest in drawing, painting, and imaginative play. Heidi described him as creative and confident in his own tastes. The youngest child, Lou Sulola Samuel, was born on October 9, 2009, in Los Angeles. Seal described her arrival as a blessing. Lou grew up surrounded by affection from her parents and older siblings. She became known for her bright personality and her love of singing, dancing, and performing. Leni remained central to the family as well. She was born in New York City on May 4, 2004. Seal had been present as a father figure from the start, and in December 2009 he formally adopted her. Heidi repeatedly stated that Seal was Leni's father in every way that mattered. According to Heidi, Flavio Briatore was not involved in the daily responsibility of raising her, while Seal was the only father figure Leni truly knew. On November 21, 2009, Heidi legally adopted Seal's surname and became known as Heidi Samuel. The name change symbolized how strongly she identified with the family they had built. By the end of that year, the couple had 4 children under one family structure, and their public image was that of a united household built through love rather than biology alone. Heidi often praised Seal as a father. She called him loving, involved, and deeply devoted to the children. Seal also spoke proudly about them and placed great importance on being present, despite his recording and touring schedule. Both parents had demanding careers, but they said they tried to make family life the priority. They wanted the children to grow up with humility, discipline, respect, and a strong understanding that family came first. One of the most famous traditions in their marriage was their annual vow renewal. Every year on their anniversary, Heidi and Seal organized a new ceremony to repeat their promises to each other. Some years included playful costumes. Others involved elegant gatherings on a beach. Friends and relatives sometimes joined, but the most meaningful part was private. Seal explained in 2010 that he and Heidi would leave the larger celebration for about an hour. They would go to a private beach with the children sit together as the sun went down and read vows to one another. To him, the tradition was a way to remember why they had fallen in love. To the public, it became proof that the couple was constantly renewing its commitment. But public appearances did not reveal everything happening inside the relationship. By 2012, reports of tension began to circulate. The pressures of fame, demanding careers, frequent travel, and raising 4 children in the public eye had become difficult to manage. No single event was identified as the one cause that destroyed the marriage. Instead, the couple said they had gradually grown apart. In January 2012, after a week of intense speculation, Heidi and Seal released a joint statement. They emphasized that they still loved and respected each other, but they admitted that the relationship had changed. The announcement shocked the public because the marriage had appeared stable from the outside. 3 months later, on April 6, 2012, Heidi filed for divorce. She also asked to have her legal name restored from Heidi Samuel to Heidi Klum. The legal process continued for more than 2 years. Their divorce was finalized on October 14, 2014. The period after their separation was not completely peaceful. Heidi began a relationship with her bodyguard, Martin Kirsten, and they dated from 2012 to 2014. In September 2012, Seal made comments to TMZ that created controversy. He said he would have preferred Heidi to wait until they were separated before becoming involved with someone who worked for the family. His representatives later clarified that he was not directly accusing Heidi of infidelity. They said he was commenting on the fact that the divorce had not yet been completed. Even so, his words hurt Heidi. She later said that Seal had a very unique choice of words and that she had become used to it. The exchange showed how much tension and pain still existed beneath their attempts to remain respectful. Despite those disagreements, both continued to focus on the children. They were seen at family events and worked to maintain a cooperative relationship. Their marriage had ended, but their responsibilities as parents had not. Leni, Henry, Johan, and Lou remained the strongest connection between them. Heidi moved forward in both her career and personal life. After her relationship with Martin Kirsten ended in 2014, she began dating art curator Vito Schnabel. That relationship ended in 2017. In March 2018, she was linked to Tom Kaulitz, the guitarist for Tokyo Hotel. Heidi made the relationship public in May 2018 through Instagram posts and appearances. On December 24, 2018, she announced their engagement. The couple privately married in February 2019 and later held a wedding ceremony on the yacht Christina O in Italy in August 2019. Seal remained focused on music touring and fatherhood. Later reports connected him with a woman named Laura, who had worked as his personal assistant during the 2000s. She reportedly began working with him in 2006 when he was still married to Heidi. Their professional relationship was later said to have developed into a romantic one. The development drew attention because Seal had previously criticized Heidi for becoming involved with someone who worked closely with the family. His reported relationship with a former assistant created a sense of irony. Still, the account presented it as another example of how personal connections can grow out of professional circles. The most lasting part of Heidi and Seal's story is the family they created. Their 4 children developed different personalities and ambitions, but they remained close. Heidi and Seal repeatedly tried to give them stability and a sense of normal life despite media attention. Leni became the most public of the 4. In 2020, at the age of 16, she made her modeling debut on the cover of Vogue Germany beside Heidi. That appearance marked the beginning of her own career. She later walked in major fashion shows, including events connected with Dolce & Gabbana, and appeared on magazine covers. At 20, Leni was described as balancing modeling with her studies. She credited Heidi and Seal with giving her a strong work ethic and reminding her to stay grounded. She also remained close to Henry Johan, and Lou serving as an example for the younger siblings. Henry, at 19, continued to focus on sports, especially soccer. He was described as a dedicated student and a humble young man who preferred a private life. He did not seek the same public career as Leni. Instead, he remained active in local leagues and school competitions while supporting his siblings. As the oldest boy, he kept the protective role he had shown since childhood. Johan, at 18, continued developing his artistic abilities. His early interest in drawing and painting expanded into digital art. He preferred to stay out of the spotlight, but Heidi occasionally shared glimpses of his creativity. His siblings reportedly saw him as the peacemaker, the person who could reduce tension with humor or a thoughtful response. Lou, at 15, remained the youngest and one of the most expressive members of the family. She loved singing, dancing, and performing. Heidi described her as confident, charismatic, and full of bright energy. Lou had shown interest in music, acting, and dance, although she was still young and had not chosen a professional path. The 4 children were different, but the values repeated by both parents remained the same. Respect, loyalty, hard work, humility, and the belief that family should come first. Heidi once explained that no matter what happened in life, the children would always have one another. That idea became especially important after the marriage ended. Heidi Klum and Seal did not get the perfect ending their public image once promised. Their romance began with immediate attraction in New York, grew through a glacier proposal in December 2004, became a marriage in Mexico on May 10, 2005, and expanded into a family of 4 children. It survived years of fame, travel, and public attention, but it could not survive every pressure placed upon it. Their separation in January 2012 and divorce on October 14, 2014 ended the marriage, but not the full story. The love they once shared remained visible in the family they built and in the way both continued to care for the children. Their relationship became a reminder that a love story can be genuine even when it does not last forever. Leni entered fashion. Henry followed his passion for soccer. Johan developed his artistic talent. Lou explored music, dance, and performance. Together, they became the clearest evidence of what Heidi and Seal once created. Their story is not only about a famous breakup. It is about the difference between the image of a marriage and the reality inside it. It is about 2 people who loved, deeply tried to renew that love every year, and eventually accepted that they could no longer continue as husband and wife. Most of all, it is about choosing to remain parents after no longer being partners. That is why the story of Heidi Klum and Seal still holds attention. It began with glamour, passion, and one unforgettable proposal on a Canadian glacier. It ended with separation, difficult words, and a long legal process. But between those moments was a family, and that family remains the most important part of everything they share.